Arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million US dollars
yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid and how much has been paid. Chairman, arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million US dollars
yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still.
All right. Enti mepacha utie minister enumunsem. Minister na say GBC and kwano mo man right to say uncover of the All African Games. Now they have made payment in excess of $3 million US dollars. Pacho uti in 70 year. Minister Nankasa say they have made payments, meaning say omo tuye sika no ama GBC. And they bisa say sika saying and omo tuya or so won't mean kai but so not gain 7 writer omo tuya in excess of $3 million US dollars. Ghana ni utio sika na ase NPP for e de cheche wo so mu wia na omo pe wa bi de akwose. The first thing is say Ghana buying a contract government agency, Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. How on earth are they paying them in dollars? That is the first question. Abra momote Ghana no we a minister we are buying we him say Ghana no trading currency no in Ghana cedi ntinu say emra o Ghana che say what the dollar kwara etua de ka o Ghana ha a crime. Embra ewo Ghana sa. How on earth did a whole abai person chere say wa paja 3 million in excess of $3 million US dollars? Aside the kotua ono ankasa abai na ni agency ka abra yete Ghana kurum ha. Anyway, yam fancy wo. Ni yam ko bi say GBC for say boo. Say na maje $3 million US dollars. Say na mo the technicians kwa muntu yo makano. Ekoya GBC panyi say da bi yede he NGCS kano. Yes raw. Yesika yenya about $105 million per. Into $3 million e de inimba bi free. Epacho uti ni. Let me go back and then listen to the minister.
An arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC.
Do you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC
yes.
in excess of $3 million US dollars
yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that I would rest here, and maybe the next time GBC appears before us, because most of the technicians who worked on the All Africa Games have still not been paid. And so we wanted to ascertain if you have paid and how much has been paid.
Enti saying that minister say, I am not saying these kind of things. Minister Nessie say, Sika or no, the ministry no, Ashe Amaya Tuya GBC pay in dollars, $3 million US. GBC for say Sika no, Omonsankai. GBC say Omonsankai is coming, they got only about $105 million per. Enti so bibe jina ho bekasa ono watu omo $3 million US a omini ma biko nipa ne 2 years kan ko wai me pa cho so what you say Ghana hey 100 million against 3 million, the difference minim a chain so one nantia which man nantia for Ghana through Australia difference no so saying sir. Yet Kwabrania first Kennedy. Kwabrania make sure so benye ba bi di sika na kwose. Tuetu ntokoro ni nyina wie sika ni nyina e de kwose aban agency say sika na ye de amount. Aban agency in the way there abaya de say masa me mensanka say sika no. Enko pass me because in himself mo position China o me ka asem we man me to ho na de che me dawa ya be paja me ko gina court say me confess ka me sika no ye ya no he ya masa yensanka he ye nya sika no nti ba bia ni ba otu sika ma no ko pebra na Ghana no the way I say ye force ye ho say ye pese ye bomb mine form e bomb mine kro no akese na mentiase men share antiase enra me kan say Ghana ban we edit tachima edin akwakwaje $100 million Bosnia Africa Korea for ho say obeye tachima water project bisi ene ya mutu sikani nyina chop obiye diskani nyina kwabrane ya sheda trans diskani nyina wa mfasika no wan kwara nkutu amana o say bi na asi no enti ono ankasa nim say $3 million na oka no e on paper e no matwero so matwe GBC says ka no but actually says ka no akose obi botom sika na nko GBC ho Minia Rafti say you are doing just fine. Yeah, I'm doing very, very, very well. Everything is fine. But he is saying, Mama and the NDC is here to save Ghana. Yes, that is what we are doing. Because we need to let Ghanaians know the truth. You say, my Ghana for Tino Krenase. Tino Krenase, na say, what do you say? Oh, say, what do you own for what being and Kotwaba, a wawasem, and they say, what that I was saying, they say, what say, what that and they will mad that. That is your own problem. That is your own cup of tea. Say, you be kind of, it is your own cup of tea. Because, oh, now why I say, oh, Boama, criminals. At the minus of say Sana ye pese chichi the minor, it is a problem for us because our buying agency to me be catch them me now say or no $3 million US. At the amount buying another agency. So on fan cover games keke. Na so monso bass or monsan can say scanner. That is the question we are asking. Inti sikano ekohen. Where did the money go? That is something we need to ask. Enu bi na Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia kujina simpi so also ma create 2.6 million jobs. Yet, yengo bi sa honorable Isaac Adongo say, kwan be na fa sa ban create adwuma timamufo no si adwuma bia anyho. Ipacho yenti no.
I find it difficult to understand whether they are in this country or they are speaking about another country.
Why?
Because they've messed up this country. Everybody is aware of that. People are struggling. Data from reputable, independent bodies speak differently from the data that government cooks in their offices. Mm-hmm. I would prefer to rely on data from reputable institutions that are independent of government because I don't trust government data. And I heard him keep saying that we believe. No. Mm-hmm. There must be verifiable and credible data. The World Bank the World Bank reports that the unemployment in our country has moved from 14.6%, I mean from 8.6% to 14.7%. And you have a government saying that it has created more jobs. How does that happen?
But that's possible.
Yes, but which data are we using?
No, I'm saying that in nominal terms,
yes,
it is possible to have created more jobs. Yet those jobs will not be sufficient in terms of rising population and people who are of working age.
Randy, look at the difference. You see, I have heard the argument that when you started quizzing about the government payroll and the numbers they claim to have created, you are looking in excess of 2 million. And the audit service is saying that it is 716,000. And he said that not all of them are on government payroll. Those that are not on government payroll, you can count them on your fingertips. Ghana Standard Authority, how many people are there? Exim Bank, how many people are there? Free Zones Board, how many people are there? Those agencies that are using internally generated, even those entities I've mentioned, okay, the staff, the establishment numbers require that they should be put on payroll. Our laws, our public financial management laws are very clear. You cannot use public funds to pay for compensation unless you have clearance from the government through the Minister of Finance. So all those people that he's talking about, government is aware of them. And the controller and auditor general is aware of them. So how come the auditor general goes to verify 770 million people and 770,000 people, and you somehow have over 2 million? Where are they sitting? Ghost workers.
Exactly. Ghost workers. Omashe created din de asisi keke. Eno medi tuye nipa neka behind the scene. Yet emfa controller ho. Sa wonam Ghana na ope brand new 200 Ghana cedis and 100 Ghana cedis. Say nye NPP minister and as NPP appointee Ghana wonam marketer, you don't even see where the money is. Obi ani baby e wo. And in a way no omankasa kotwa sika no eno mabeche sika no edi. Sika no she omon passe. Eno omode nam no omode yakaka bensem. That is what Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia de nama ode ye campaign akese no. And the NPP bit say Mr. Gideon or Dr. Gideon, but the surprising thing is say NPP phones you know Dr. Fonkwa. Dr. Nkwa. That is why Dr. Matthew Puku Prempe name say Professor Kora I was sorry change doctor. Because no one can my panic until he even forgot to say you can't be a professor a higher change doctor. He thought a doctor and a higher because Munina a doctor Nkwa. Dr. Gideon Bako Kotana Metro ne won't make when only the spokesperson of Dr. Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia into doctor versus doctor Yamutu. NPP for we have the men. Not knowing the men, you need men could be a for my free. Say won't to me more are the men there, then there is a problem. If NPP say we have the men, that's a chairman won't to me more, then you people have a problem because men number one, we don't even know who the men are. Says how men we power and most of what they are, then you don't have the men. But the problem they say they only came to mismanage the affairs of our economy. They only came to steal. Me, I don't want to have any car. My men don't want I don't have any problem with them. But the only problem is say uja or more ombebo krono ne sa kata omoto. That is the reason why I catch almost NPP for be lose about na chama won't meet me when him catch it say omo 1 million ways of winning elections. Na say one regional chairman it me the whole nation in him. I catch it say no means of winning election 1 million ways of winning elections. Then the so-called Peace Council for no akoma not to say no monte say asembi ekoso mainum. Bias onte. And that is the reason why chairman I see you don't get your catcher almost say business and almost mean no a rigging business and a mean you don't even have any business to mean here.
For no manifesto launching in the manema na obia onim de ekoso no onim say de womo ye no womo mini business no business ya womo mini no enye business papa rigging business and na
Bawumia means business no ye
rigging business because minya ohun say ebeye bosome ni a ye voter registration and the bisi ne electoral commission intimi and resolve issues so a ewo ho a nti ebetimi agina ho akase nipa ya twere wo mudin provisional register no say na kokosi amo mekan ena wo mo boda wuro say ochina ye be shase na yako exhibit the register no.
And the as chairman actually said, rigging business ejuma na momo ye. Because why we say amamu no won develop my no. Amamu ne da sha wonsa no. That is not the prime aim a wo de ye. And na wo de wa no e create ejuma. Na wo de wa no esi agenda 111. Wo de wa no aye kwan e wo Ghana dodo. Na wo de wa no aye dam ahodo yet on the grounds there is nothing there to show. Ghana for this is a very big test case and edema way. The test case and then they say kukurumutine kita the president nankasa ote kunyan so na ka kire say eye kukurumutine eye wankasa wo dia Mamudu Bawumia so ka kire say fa data fatoaba enti say wonam na wo ka politics a ye shia na bi say politics a wo ka no dia asem na wo ka Mamudu Bawumia ama answer ne dada
Data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support.
Exactly. It is also we are breaking the 8. That's a unkita data now. The question is also DNA now the copy software ban. And me said DNA say every day I come online. Now me the data no abeto wabona no. Me the data no everybody will say, hey, this is the data. Data na wo no chere say Bank of Ghana the data number, Ghana Statistical Services the data number, World Bank the data number say unemployment cost of Ghana. Controller and Accountant General otua aban adwuma yefo kan say medie nipa dodo we na metua omoka. Edisi obi be gina wo say ono wa create 2.6 million jobs a controller so entua 2.6 million jobs ka bisa say nipa no omo wo he. But this is a very simple question. A harmful question. A harmless question. Very, very simple question. Ghana controller ni tuye nipa ka. Nipa omo controller no. Ibit me ka omo nipa ka krabi. And this also create 2.6 million jobs a adwuma no create wo he. And nipa no kwan be na fa so tu omo ka. Is it the case say we got for $3 million US a now they put you omo ka on table and ask dey ma yehu because that $3 million US we are here there we will go down deep. Send a Millicent car, you know. Amount for I J-Best. You know, when I'm hoping I say, Saban is or no better a group you find the jail them group. In the I think the jail them group and you man I start say you know. In the jail them group, you know. Wow, when him say wa we cash biano. What the about more than say o ma ban say na ban say say kukuro. The first thing say na wan cause where the kind one say wom. Until the list and by a body, and as a one candidate, no WP. So until you remain there because that is your home. That is where you belong because you cannot work as a way we are now. So, Boko could we escort the sports minister or one who had their way. What if a pen and pan or the told him who said, as a Sicano or was at Tija about your an
arrangement with GBC to cover the All Africa Games, right? Can you share with this committee how much that coverage was for and whether payment has been made for same?
Yes, GBC was the official broadcaster for the African Games, the 13th African Games, and I can confirm that full payment have made to GBC. Do
you have per chance what the amount was?
I can't recall the exact amount, but I know that it's in the excess of $3 million US dollars.
You paid GBC
Yes.
in excess of $3 million US dollars
Yes.
for coverage of the All Africa Games.
Yes.
Chairman, I think that
NPP4. NPP4. NPP4.
Jimmy NPP for Jimmy, me who be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
Eyawra hosem. I just see nyina ye ne abrewai e sunlight see ye kwana na do ho. Na yenko bi sana na abrewa see ye kwana na do ho style ben ye mfanko.
Ya plan si ya mamudia and ye boy who naked. Ye boy who naked. Ye boy who the ja. Ye boy the ja. Ye be ye che akoko ye che ye be yatoso ye che fufuo ni che kokko ni che tuntum nyina da ye yatoso wa
Ye kwana na do straight send ye peno so wo se krono ne katashe no de wunja area we are coming there no but when him say surprisingly na do say hotel na nke to ma branchampo no e needless de na ye o se mfa so bi ani so clearing agent say hotel na ye jai no sa controversy no very very unnecessary here say nanka ye sa didi no because didi na ye no na do clearing agent ye nim na dada no waba asia be sisi say no kore say ye kan say Senate books enye President Akufo-Addo ipacho enye me na America. This is from President Akufo-Addo. Clearing agent say hotel na ye koton Ghana ho ajapade nyina de ma onamo branchampo na ye huna na ojaye no President Akufo-Addo say e needless de ne no he as the clearing agent he doesn't see anything wrong with it. Ay Ghana ya mo hodo here titika so enso come dey see a pe Ghana Obama na wure ye need to President Akufo-Addo. One very surprising thing about President Akufo-Addo is say oye ya no ankasa ba out abe claim nkrofo no sika mpedide hwe ono wedi chaka ya chese sika mpedide la je la moi la capacité la soin President Akufo-Addo sika mpedide ndi so mpedide dia nho yeti sika so enso kom de yen Ghana ya ye mobodo na do kan na Ghana for beat service ne yentia say no is o kan kire ni cruise se masa Ghana sika ho mama yen ko diska no mama yen ko ni yen ko diska ni bi na sika yete so no mama yete opposition ya kom de yen no kwan bi e be fa so e bitima ko je ko nwa we ni yakọ we cash no yen ko di odi ko udi I'll clear you be clear wa asemna san obi entim nyo hwe Millicent say Akufo-Addo is a criminal. Yes, Wababa clear will say there's nothing wrong. And he actually said, a needless and then unnecessary controversy. And a kind of. Now, who are all kinds of local business, I say, why being you could have in your juma? Because when you enter that, or not buy him for this car. Oh, can't was him. Well, and when you have a president like this, dear no encourage. Or catch the nipa say mundi skano mundi sikano because bibia ni wa obi aka ebetimi aye ohwe. That is what President Nana Adongo Akufo-Addo e ka kire na chita for any administration na ono obetena so no say masa momunye sikana muni o wo de wan ndi sikano na ye ko opposition a ho kire be kire no enti mundi sikano. Now, so when your president says, "What the anything for what you come to clear them. Everything about your administration, you come to tell them say there's nothing wrong." COVID by health minister Koto in Nurube Ghana for Faso. I'm a Ghana for you na Kasafa who say, "Hey, health minister, where they working? Health minister, where they working?" President of the land, President Nana Adongo Akufo-Addo. Ekujina health minister kurum Or catch it almost say, oh, we on your way, or very clean. Or mom, you didn't come minima the cocoa home, or mom, you did it. Could I say, Diana. Now they didn't know way and Uncusi. Ampa president, I'm mass answer no, I'm going to and the question I need to say, if you have somebody as Nana Adongo Kufuor or your president, how on earth are you going to succeed the fight against corruption? Corruption na ya ka no. Mo be ye den na ma fight sa corruption no. Wa mo say mwaye. Oka na wa bu be kama.
Fellow Ghanaians, as the French would say, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To wit, money does not like noise. Sika impe dede. Where there's chaos, where there's noise, as the French would say, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To wit, money does not like noise. Sika impe dede.
And then another say at the show boy, Sisi can't pay the day. Until Pesca and you with a silent killer. Now, risk no about me and Casa make clear, manafo. Let them go away. All right, shall brace faces, please. I want you to 1,000 cedis to $1 before 2020, 2000. Kufuor took over. Yes, one will say. I don't know how to say this because Oka Nipadodo Nano might misunderstand you. Rawlings Tiaseno. Former President Rawlings also said, and Semi Amibabe Kenyabi. That's what I say. You can't nipa or mismanage Ghana economy pa a former President Kufuor. The only thing Kufuor came to do is a Ghana Sika 7 or zeros in the free so. To make it look say, oh yeah, the papa. Before I be zeros in every Ghana Sika sono. Now you have 5 Ghana cedi ho. And the current 5 Ghana cedi na yet 50,000. In the first now ko na 5 Ghana cedis. But Kufuor be redenomination no. They over the instance now ko na ba be the current Ghana 5 cedi. Na say a jump it times 10. Of what it used to be. Enti Kufuor time no oyi zeros keke every Ghana citizens no NMA near 1,000 no ebe dan 1. So that is what NPP actually says. So Kufuor the dollar no about 1:1. But they have forgotten say a zeros keke and a Kufuor ne Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mu e free so. Militants, you are right. Kufuor ne Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia mu any place I gave no to Ghana for a year zeros free so money by to say Ghana economy was stronger. But when you had the NPP for year. Yes, Kufuor and Bawumia. Yes, you are right. Kufuor, yes, Shabre faces Kufuor say Ghana economy with Mahmoud Bawumia was actually the steer, or they know it's steer no, because that is what Kufuor told us, and that is what Anado also told us. Say Ghana sika semna Kufuor buy our man catch us or massive ni no. Or the Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and because Mahmoud Bawumia was then the governor or the deputy governor of Bank of Ghana and to normally say and actually no on a bomb we Ghana sikanina. Na time you best says cano or man can sika do Ghana and chere and no exchange Jesus do and nobody even told us. Into we were able to massively or more pokrono area Ghana sikano bebre at that point. That is why I could for the pen Mahmoud Bawumia because so follow Mahmoud Bawumia analysis here or a cromfo very well. One will say when Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Genesis Pieswa, Utimi catcher will say Ghana ka from Kwame Nkrumah to John Ajekun Kufuor na 9 million. But John Mama na John Mama $122 million cedis. But we say dear calculation and or the year on cancer calculation no. Inti Mahmoud Bawumia share that any DCB Ghana for say from Kwame Nkrumah to Kufuor no you see different dollar rate. Under his excellency John Dramani Mahama or you see different exchange rate and they calculate it. A bedroom also by now he's using a different dollar rate to calculate it. Also, he always confused people. But say, why you work from no? They will get you. Say, why you work from Biana? They get you. Why you work from Biana? They get you. That is the game Mahmoud Bawumia play on Ghanaians. So they always play on the intelligence of Ghanaians. And we say, Ghana for Dodo Nana, understanding a problem. And I don't know, you calculate very fast. Into obey you see different exchange rates. And the calculator there from Kwame Nkrumah to Kufuor. Now, about John Mahama, so he used a different exchange rate to calculate it to make it seem to say John Mahama then can say, oh, we are not find a percentage. Say John Mahama acquiring this percentage. That is why they always say John Mahama ever pick a Ghana dollar from 1:1, no, they could do 1:4 percentage ASA. But on no be far 4 no they could do 16 percentage say now no the percentage in Abedan Ketwa, yet they have forgotten say in their own manifesto in 2016 no they say they will reduce one government borrowing ma exchange rate in Nkosor Kese. They did not talk about percentage wise. These are things we need to let Ghanaians know because they themselves promised to say on reduce government borrowing. Now in so doing, on be creating more jobs. Enti obi catch it say Bosian Kwane de Buma de and can a back or 10 years could be my president of Ghana. Because that was what they were using against His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. But you do almost no almost bromosia, you be some Bosian de no my bar. Almost say and we have Bosian on my bono, but in percentage wise, no, it's a. That is what they always tell Ghanaians. Almost say percentage wise, no, it's a. But that is a lie. Well, I'm trying to get the exact thing they said in their manifesto. Because they said they will reduce government borrowing. They did not say they will reduce the rate at which government borrows. These are two different things. Reduce government borrowing and then reduce the rates at which government borrows. Are two different things. But they will always confuse people with this kind of words. Because when say Ghana for the donor, adwene any saade no so. Into a car, no, they confuse you. Then you get lost by yourself. That is why I always try or do my best to say I will get the exact words they were saying to you. Na afei de o nso no o de ya de. Because ya nyane sa Ghana for no do na any the time to go and read a lot of things. Then they always use these kind of things against you. Until they said they will reduce government borrowing. But they did not say they will reduce the rate at which government borrows. Two different issues. Let's get all these kind of things clear. I'll try to get the exact page and everything, and then I'll show you. Say NPP for Nkasa in their own manifesto. No, that is what they said to us. Why I'm here? Yes, let me just bring you the page here. Oko NPP manifesto 2016, page 13. I'm trying to project it on the screen. Now, NPP's own manifesto of 2016, page 13. NPP's own manifesto. I'm trying to bring it on our screen here. Na menu na ashe na yahade. If you are, we will understand them, and then when we share more, then you ask them questions. You say, hey, you actually said you will reduce government borrowing. And what succeeded in reducing it, and I say unsucceeded here. That is something we need to ask them. If I tell you, baby, my underlining now, you will see it by yourself. Say, they said they will reduce. Let me bring it on here. Yes, if I tell, do you see it on your screen? Almost say, our goal inter alia is to achieve double-digit GDP growth annually for the next 4 years. Under Kufuor-led NPP government, the economy attained a GDP growth of 9.1% in 2008 without oil. We will reduce the cost of doing business, maintain fiscal discipline, reduce. These were the words of NPP for Nankasa. We will reduce government borrowing. That is their own words. I did not put this in their manifesto. So somebody will ask me, where did you get it from? Page 13 of NPP's own 2016 manifesto, Change an Agenda for Jobs. NPP's own 2016 manifesto, page 13. So what they actually said is they will reduce government borrowing. Reduce government borrowing. They did not say they will reduce the rates at which government borrows. These are two different things. I always try to bring the best. Say, mention that and cancel and to be also because our integrity is also at stake. So the question they say, one, what they actually said, they say they will reduce the cost of doing business. Is it true, or do you think that it's false? Is the rate at which government does business, and as you yourself, the rate at which you do business, do you think say will be at me are reducing? They will reduce the cost of doing business in Ghana, maintain fiscal discipline. Do you think say they're able to maintain fiscal discipline? That is something you need to ask yourself. And then 3, reduce interest rates, and then the highest interest rate about since independence, under this abine. And then reduce government borrowing. They will also reduce interest rates. That is NPP's 2016 manifesto, page 13, and I presented them. So you could see clearly say these people, right from the word go, etronia zankwa.
Jimmy NPP for Jimmy, me who be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
Yes. And when Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia tell you, say, data in here, sometimes when you are, we're going a lesson for the politicians in Ghana, especially we to say Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we a PhD holder now. When you tell us the data in here,
data brings light. People who don't like light don't like data. So when you see a politician trying to talk, you just say, bring the data to support what you are saying. And
you can find one got more document. Now they be beside a question. Pick it on one case. I'll have you do Mahmoud Bawumia now document on one betcha the Ghana for say Ghana for Monji wa there be any because John Mama bon John Mama ebro mosia too much. John Mama ama cost of doing business Ghana na akosoro. Enti yen mo fa ban na me say ensem ye ba ye be reduce obey adwuma cost na ka obo anso obey adwuma no ye be reduce no. Yen san mbro bosia biem. Because a bosia bon kwa na develop mind and kame me ba kwala ketekete kura bit my president Esela also say this kind of things to John the money mama. And then a ma full and in ba ya no vice president yidi kura Samira Bawumia e ka kire say John Mama is incompetent. John Mama is incompetent. Aden ya say John Mama borrow too much. No ni kunu borrow. Ni kunu dey a very good economic manager. And then the same person eguma ya fi no nam say ni kunu ba na wa ya de. Ukuna ya den ya say wa borrow mo say bibire. And so bosia na wa dey adwuma. When President Nana Adongo Akufo-Addo appointed 125 strong ministers in the history of Ghana been that. Even Saddam Hussein could just had be that. And they be said now as a president. Now 125 ministers no. At the end of the day, and I do catch it say my number of ministers no by yen juma mbeye. And I do not catch him catch it. I always say some things, but I always want to back it by data. Yes, or see, we should not look at the ministers and by I appointed 125 strong ministers. Or see, by what they are going to do. Enti, do you think say now the ministers no don't be boom mine? Wow, back here with the data. I do my year and 125 for na no. So when what's Ghana and breaking the eight. E do sika and a total increase at the massa for Usika and the top level increases at the massa for say on Jim Kungudi. And ye did two maka the same time ye be sports ko na mo nsan gisi kan bi nsan fa nko tua agencies na omo be cover na wasan ko inflate cost no $3 million GBC so mo nsan kan ska no enti se o ko swear oath e ko tena parliament anim e ko di tro e kira parliament but Ghana and sometimes there is something I've been wondering. It seems to say as a Ghana for no yen shedam funny man hokesisa. Is it the reason why I say nanado mo fight say Jimmy for an accident? Because any serious nation minister got in a parliament committee and him edi tro echere omwa nka minima dia ombeye mahu country bia ye pagya minister bi sa de ne ko to twene trash can mu bola yinum because or say mine no baoba Ghana minister ne timi gina wo mene wanim edi tro de kire na wo wase age o matum se o ma ya de inti Ghana for is it say we are too timid and as a DNA high DNA Ghana for higher we need to start this conversation. We need to start this kind of conversation na you see here at the core. Enti so where the number of ministers are presidents aba appointed. Na minister na adwuma nyina na say ono no krono e na oba abebo man no. Na ugo bisa president say ministers no adodo na wi na ase ye hu adwuma poten omo ye. Adwuma na ministers na ye no Mr. President we don't actually see it. Enti dia na ekoso. Na president na ka say ministers na adwuma ma ye no wo na hunu. Because they are performing astronomically. Say, "Oma boy juma pa e wo Ghana ho." It is a who say who they are, then you are the problem. President Kufuor say the ministers na juma ma ye no, ono kura who be that. Oma boy juma papa. Do you think say e no kre? And I say, do you think say enya no kre? That is something we all need to ask ourselves. The president Kufuor to me gina me when him catch say the ministers no omo performance na outstanding. Incident time na man for catch say Mr. President reshuffle ministers ni bi na yi binim free mo say dabi omo boy juma papa juma mo boy ko abi mi hu bi da. Do you think that is the truth? Inti Ghana no say the same Libya na say when Libya for enya dia ekoso Ghana they don't even do it. Pedano Kenya for hunu say amamu na ekoso enye omo tuntesuko ko de kira aban no. Baba Ghana it seems that nobody is talking, everybody is quiet and everybody is okay with whatever is going on in the society. Yet obia that in na pakusi anwumra obi etia say ahokira ba Ghana. Na ahokira ba Ghana wo nkasa wonya hwe no president and ministers no say man no yet everybody is quiet and then when they give you some token now wo say presume no person kire say dey. I don't even understand it. A problem for our society because the problem no say society in a moment me accept the challenge you to society now society for now pay solutions to the challenges it will keep on occurring and that is the reason why yetiminya a whole vice president eti on resign not buying a power or see am man into aso or no sign be catch will say taxes or money about who say any tax papa and say wo to aba man or no be president obi ye free ho but otiho as vice president dey onhu ye importers and exporters esu say omadwuma egu agbedifo ma etia say money mo ayede no vice president didn't make catch say wo to aba the man no be president there obema wo wasetenam atumpon but whilst as a vice president there or no onfa ho o ze nya Ghana wo ndimi kata say won chiro bia no adam for Somalia kurantisa you can't even go to Somalia and start to tell them say I want you to know no me mfa ho but oto aba mam be president metuma so of all those say I'm the vice president. Somalia, you cannot even tell them this thing. Ghana, you can't even tell somebody in Somalia like this. Afghanistan, Syria, but it seems that Ghana and Ghana will say, I don't even want to say it. I don't know how to put it, because that is what Ghana, I say, we are becoming known for. Nteti mamufo no mama yange kan ye ho kakra na Ghana no toro ene nada ya institutionalizing it to the sense say a whole president be gina wanim na wadi toro akere soja mpanyifo timi be gina wanim na wadi toro akere police mpanyifo timi gina wanim na wadi toro akere vice president gina ho na wadi toro energy minister light ko off o kan o say enye dum so. The doom so where the society doom near so I never doom so yet was a new doom so. Or no say yes, I man in we say begin when him say Obisa over here, my penzo doom saba. Anna say na here tiase.
Nkwasiafo pa ma Jimmy NPP for Jimmy me who be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.
Just photos we have a there. Many am that say me te won ka check. Aja yenche ya moju pa magana mara mate say the gumbala ho boju pa gidi o sha pass so ya me cha no just nti ya cha na mame. These are some of the things I say you started this kind of conversation minor ends sa Ochina, what we're going to discuss and say Ghana, what is Ghana known for? Ochina, that is the topic we're going to discuss. Say what is Ghana known for? Say uwa amanone anao de uko jina Togo ana Nigeria uso yankwa Ghana no bibisa say Ghana dia na mekwa amenkwa ya ana mehu Ghana wa. What is Ghana known for? There is basically nothing in the country. And Nanado Dankwa was comparing Ghana to Togo, Cote d'Ivoire, and I said, for a neoko kase, what the Ghana chrono no kaya na any Mahmoud Bawumia kaya na compare Cote d'Ivoire, ne kaya to Cote d'Ivoire a francophone country, until you found compare Ghana. They think say Adriano and Yajuma. They think say Adriano and Yajuma. Inti bisa who question say Korea near or to Korea. Now what could you name say open $100 million? Eda be fix it the Chima water project. Na we be this canon. 1 year no. Die inti na was saying corn was on some $2 million in find some may Cape Coast Airport or beside the amount. Because when who say my being or from to no bro most and send by resources who krum nya no beche. Yes all wow. Then Mahmoud Bawumia to me gina catch the Cape Coast for say Cape Coast for me share my boss say see airport wo way back in 2016 ayensi no. And net the Makwa Jebosia $2 million if you Korea, some be a president in the BC airport among. But many president in the airport in Canada. Then the people of Cape Coast keep quiet and then watch them and clap. Until Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Jina Sim PSA, Omusi airport, Cape Coast. President Nana Adongo Akufo-Addo call Cape Coast will be signed also on Kaise or Makato BC Airport. And then Ghanaians went straight to NPP's 2020 manifesto at the Chile Mr. President say, or manifesto ha say will be Airport to Cape Coast. President his story. Mahmoud Bawumia being the vice president from 2020 no abesi 2024 airport no when see habo no wensi aba ne vice president ti wanim kan kire say wono akwaje bosia abeto ho ba say woto aba de man no be president a obesi airport wo Cape Coast na wo gidi a wa wasem until we are watching the people of Cape Coast so moto about the NPP a wo da din yankopon ba gi atem didie ma
ya plan si ya mamuji a ene ye boy ho naked ye boy ho naked ye boy ho adaja ye boy adaja ye benyi ye che akoko ye che ye be yatoso ye che fufuo ni che kokko ni che tuntum nyina da ye yatoso wa ha mani ade pa na kufu ado so wa mo ene ye beba enkra ho ye boy ho adaja
President Akufo-Addo says wow into the answer na ma da abrewa.
Fellow Ghanaians, as the French would say, l'argent n'aime pas le bruit. To wit, money does not like noise. Sika mpe dede.
Ti ba mi abrewa, President Akufo-Addo si dede a oye na e masika ma obotom ti kama no tum. Aka kire o si dede na oye no. Sika mpe dede. Nti opa ibodeja na bra also mfa wo ho onye hwe ma. That is the test case of Ghanaians. Nti for 1 hour the munufie na me do be si ha. But the test case na American children say you need to assess your brain. One kasa what that dwen ho be say na me kura ade adwen e wo mitim. E ba ne say na vice president na ote ho no say me to about the man na obe solve me problem. Yet me ho kire me ene ono so na vice president. The running mate no energy minister. Light boy dey. Or see a 12 man be vice president or better light be also. What is coming? What is the problem? Chairman Wun to me is Ashanti regional chairman as we speak today. I watch it across Ghana or Timbi. Honorable Kennedy Japan, I watch it across on also on one because I watch it Ghana. And so on no say catch it say, oh, to about the man Alhaji do Tamamudu Bawumia, Ombeyi, I watch it every ho. As it ask yourself, say, how or what does these people take us for? But you will be talking about question. You need to start to ask all these kind of questions because when Mr. wants a question, every day, beyond and Groove will say, oh, more than one eye. I said, Ghana for the Ghana, what comes to, and I said, Ghana for the eye. We who know Macacaribian become one or two. Ghana, and you know them, and so Colafia Caribbean could. And I just remember one is so Colafia or the good TVs who could get TP and as a massa. Oh, they will keep case closed. That is what we are known for. That is what we are known for. And to Honorable Kennedy Japan on one kasa di Alhaji do Tamamudu Bawumia chino. Yengo bisa say no no Mamudu Bawumia nankasa.
Dr. Bawumia jina wana no dindin di obakaye when your fundamentals are weak, your exchange rate will expose you. That time now $1 to 4 cedis. And net $1 to 12 cedis. Okay, as we did them. The next day, propaganda, the whole Ghana newspapers were cut off. I don't insult. I tell the truth. You said all these things, and I'm drawing the attention of the delegates.
Kennedy Japan can't say Mamudu Bawumia to me to all media houses or Ghana nyina na nsem kwa na ye ka. Wow. Kennedy Japan na kan I did not say this kind of or say Mamudu Bawumia to me to media house or Ghana nyina na ye discussing asem. Or TS ka mo. Ezo ken na ngasa na integrity no ayera odi Mamudu Bawumia chika je say wo say Ghana ye den den so ento aba ma Mamudu Bawumia no ba be solve problem no. Flip flopper. Erato na edu ne kan flip flopper. Integrity ayera. And I'm telling Honorable Kennedy Japan and they say if he thinks they say we ne be ma nya kwanya ababe lead the NPP some day to come or the same mistakes we know are bringing his or shooting own foot because wa magan ni bi who say integrity test no or fairly or need credibility until Honorable Kennedy or Kennedy Japan you have lost the game already. Why you that?
They want no fire who what to yem rade it's a yem out to me or you be ya brabo be fe.
All right, kwesi swat no o se na na do dan kwa Akufo-Addo ne Mamudu Bawumia ka kire say ye to abama ma ombema oman mu aye de ama ya setenam atumpon na nupe
wo de wa no fire who what to yem rade it's a yem out to me or you be ya brabo be fe na nupe no ma ya pa be ye bie ye pro hiama ya kwabe papa wo sikanso ni medi hiao okoje sicha na wa braye mponyo no amemu oboni esi konto bo hini ye mu fitempo aye sip koko ona wo beka semno ya hye won funu mumma
wa ho se kwasi swat o se omo a ombeka samaye no so no ya hye o mafunu mumma. That is the truth. Enti the message amedeja no you need to go down that na dwen hu yes abato no a change a lot of things in our society or destiny, everything concerning you biano and I'm about to also never. The Biametaka say Ukraine, they a very peaceful nation. Omoko to Obama comedian Zelensky and the Ukraine was saying no. And or the Ukraine not done business and on nam no American or Jiska or German or Jiska or the Ukraine for any had no business. One president after the whole nation in our own business. I don't know products and all tomo. Let me put it in that way. But then Ukrainians as a product and all tomo. And then Okojiska can watch that to bomb back to baby or tomo the business. Do you want Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to do you same? Yeah, some 70 do basi ha. 1 hour with Munufi. Watching at same time. I'll be live. What would me joining me in the Biana? And that was it. But just when you subscribe here, you go back and then subscribe. Send a the Biana live piano. Was that bit me? I can. Now, ubetimi share on some for from Saka. That is something we're gonna do because if we near kode, you see Matima when you the reason why es or toba no kotobana or me home, send a bay a dachi and then a brabon bit mutumpo. May that be ase. Bye bye.
My Jimmy NPP for Jimmy, me will be stupid people. I don't know why I belong to that political party.